All right, so tonight is May 8th, and it is the Fierce Fit Pride team call. Super excited to share this content with you guys for a number of reasons. And so basically, team call topic is fiercely owning your business, becoming an empowered business owner, mentor, and coach. And, you know, that's one thing that I've been focusing a lot on lately in my life, separate from, you know, coaching and applying what I'm learning to what I'm doing, you know, with my coaches and with my challengers. And since you guys are all in my challenge group, you probably saw me share in the live stream. Sorry, also just want to preface this by saying I'm doing a Candida cleanse and I'm super brain foggy right now, so bear with me. I shared the empowerment matrix, and I shared it in the context of what it would look like for my challengers on their health and fitness journey. But tonight, I want to share it with you through the lens of how you can utilize it to be more self-aware and to be more empowered in your business. And I'm really excited for that. So I'm not sure how long it will take for me to get through it. It could end up being rather quick. We'll have to sort of wait and see. And then, you know, of course, we can open it up for questions at the end if need be. So let me just share my screen with y'all. Okay, so, all right, there's my title page. So here we are. So this is the empowerment matrix. And like I said, it might look familiar to some of you, and if not, that's fine too. So here on the, I think this is the y-axis, right, Kit? Is this the y-axis? I think this is the y-axis. Yes, okay. It's been a while. This is the y-axis, and on the y-axis, I have connection and or your why. So obviously that strong reason why you're in this business, why you feel the need to pay this forward, or, you know, why you're doing this for yourself, your family, etc. And then on the x-axis, we have growth. And what I want you to think of when you see the word growth is more like those actionable items that you can take to, you know, see movement in your business. So we have the 4 quadrants of the matrix. Obviously, this one is empowered, and this is obviously where we want to be, not just in our business, but in everyday life. And this is what we want to encourage our challengers and our coaches, where we want to encourage them to be. Then over here we have cozy. Down here we have bored and disengaged, and over here we have stressed. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what it would look like or feel like to be in each one. And I want you to listen knowing that this is from my perspective. So at the same time, I also want you to sort of ponder, like, well, what would that look like or feel like for me? Because when I get bored or disengaged from the business, it might look entirely different from what your bored and disengaged might look like. So I offer some ideas, some perspectives for you guys, but I want you guys to be reflective as to how it would, you know, align with you and your business. Okay, so empowered. Now, in the context of these arrows right here, so this means, you know, your connection or your why is strong or it's high. And then obviously down here, this would be, okay, your connection or your why is low, it's weak. And then the same goes for over here. This would be that your growth, you're stepping into that challenge, you're stepping into those actionable items, that's high. And then down here, that would be low. So just wanted to clarify that. So when you are empowered in your business as a business owner, based on, what I just shared with you, what those two things mean, the connection and why and the growth, and obviously what these arrows mean. It means that, your connection and your why is strong, and you are plugging into those actionable items every single day. That's what it means on a very, simplistic, fundamental level. But beyond that, it means that you have a vision, because without vision, you guys, it's really hard to stay connected. Regardless of whether or not you have a why, your vision and your why are very different. Your vision has to be beyond what's right here and what's right now. It has to be, bigger picture. So you have this vision for where you want to go and how you want to grow in this business. And like I said, your why is strong. You have a strong, impactful purpose. You have a sense of purpose in your core that moves you, through those less than exciting, actionable items each day. So obviously there are things about this business that we don't always feel excited to do. And, for some people, they do get excited to invite or whatever. But for some people, it's like, oh, that's the last thing I want to do right now. It's their frog, you may have heard of the book, Eat That Frog. The frog are those things that you got to finish first on your to-do list at the start of your day. And when your why is strong, when your vision is clear, that's what's going to propel you into, taking care of those items every single day. So another thing, you're combating excuses. So you're finding a way around time restrictions and schedule limitations and all that jazz, because let's face it, life happens. All of you on this call, you all have other jobs. Some of you have families. I mean, we all have families, but you know what I mean. There are different parts of your life that need you and need you to pour your love into them. So it's really about finding what works for you. And and I said this, I think on not last week, but the week before, that team call, I said, if you don't know what that looks like to make it work for you, then we need to have a discussion about that. And we can craft what those hours would look like, what those action tasks would look like, so that it's feasible for you, so that this is something you want to do. You're setting clear goals at the start of the week so that you know what you're working towards and the kind of work you need to put into your business to see those goals come to fruition. Now, that sort of goes back to what I was saying a couple weeks ago, where, just like any other job, you don't sit down at your job every day or go to your job every day without a plan. And this is no different. Just because, you're quote unquote your own boss, it takes that discipline. You have to know what's on your agenda for the day. And, when you're leading a team too, you have to know what you're sharing with your team and how you're going to guide them accordingly. So having that vision and those goals at the start of the week is important. Otherwise, you're not going to do anything at all. Also, when you're in an empowered space, you're experiencing growth. I also put you're feeling blank. So, for everybody, when you're empowered, when you've had a really awesome month in your business, or when you're just empowered in your life in general, what feelings that evokes for you, right? So I said, for me, when I'm empowered in my business, I feel motivated. I feel driven. I feel passionate. I feel like I'm in control of my business activities. Things aren't piling up and I'm oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't want to do anything. I am in control of the growth I'm experiencing, because obviously I had to put in that work to see that growth. I feel responsible and I feel unstoppable. I feel on fire. I got this. I want to bring everybody along with me. Who's hopping on this freight train of F yeah, I want to share this. I want to shout it from the rooftops. You're empowered. You're vibing high. And then also there's that CEO mindset that you are responsible for your success, but you're also responsible for the lack thereof. in your business. So, you know, your growth in this business, like my growth or lack thereof in this business, has nothing to do with Jenny, my upline sponsor. Nothing to do with her. Nothing to do with Heather LaChance, her upline sponsor. Nothing to do with Liz Harkey. Nothing to do with any of you. It solely relies on me and my why, my vision, my purpose, and what I'm putting into my business each day. So as a mentor, what is it like to operate from that empowered space as a mentor when you're mentoring coaches? And this is something that I have had to learn failure after failure after failure, which is why I say to you guys, don't be afraid to fail forward, period. Because in every single face plant that you experience in this business or in life, you are going to take a nugget away from that. You're going to learn how to do something differently next time. So, you know, asking questions, not always giving answers. So empowering your coaches and allowing them to arrive at their own answers. Well, did you check the FAQ on that? Well, did you check the coach bundle, which I know needs updating, but did you check the coach bundle to see if there was an answer there? I mean, there are all kinds of places where you could check. Another thing, giving them action steps or call to actions, like that they have to execute themselves. Because at the end of the day, you know, like I have learned that people will say that they want something. They want to pursue something. They want this goal. They want to achieve that, right? This, that, and the other thing. But they're not always willing to put in the work. And I've experienced that time and time again in this business. And it gets so frustrating. It gets so overwhelming. But when you operate from that place of empowerment, you're able to separate yourself from what your coaches are and are not doing. Because ultimately, I mean, it is up to them. They have to choose. Do they want to grow? Do they want to pursue this business? Or are they just half-assing it, so to speak, and not really putting in the work to see that growth? So like I basically sort of just said, taking responsibility for what is yours and only yours. So the success and or failure of your coaches does not belong to you. It's a choice that they do or don't make. And I said this 2 weeks ago because I have said it too. I mean, I've lost coaches in this business, and you know, like, what did I do wrong? Like the why me mindset. What did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? And of course, you know, yeah, you might want to reflect and think, you know, what could I have done differently? But you get to a point too where you have to realize that it's something that they chose. You know, like you can't give them that vision. You can't give them that purpose or connection to this business. And beyond that, the second you take responsibility for somebody else's failure in this business or in their health and fitness journey, you're also taking responsibility for their success. And that sounds flat out crazy, right? Because you would say, well, no, like it's their success because they put in the work. The opposite is true. Sorry guys, my allergies are killing me. So this next quadrant, cozy. I just want to preface this by saying I've been in all of these quadrants. Like I've been in cozy, I've been in bored and disengaged, I have been in stressed. So just know that, okay? So in cozy, your connection and or your why is high, right? It's strong. But you're like, meh, no need to grow, kind of a thing. That's the vibe around this. You're cozy, you're complacent, you're not willing to move forward. So you have a strong reason for wanting to pursue this business opportunity. And at the heart of it, it's, you know, always knowing that paying this forward to others would be life-changing for them because you too have experienced this big life change. Like, hell yeah, I want to share this with everybody else. Like, I feel great. I want to share it with everybody else too. But it stops there. Like it pretty much stops there. You're not willing to grow. So what does it look like to be unwilling to grow? And again, like as I pose these questions, I know what they look like for me. They might look similar, the same, or entirely different for you. So just be like thinking about that. So what does it look like to be unwilling to grow? I choose to work this business on my own without working on my mindset. So personal development don't have to happen. Without working on my own journey, I don't have to be proof of the product. I don't really have to drink my shake consistently. I don't have to plug into my workouts. Like, I can fall by the wayside. It's fine. I can work this business without consistency in my daily vitals, without seeking partnership, support, mentorship, and accountability. And that's a huge one because I've been there myself too. I can promise you that there is power in numbers, and there is so much power in understanding that there is no I in team. It sounds so simple, right? Like those are things that we learn when we're in kindergarten. I would know because I taught it. There's no I in team. We work together. And, you know, there's something really special that happens when you begin to open yourself up to collaboration, because you get fresh perspective, you get new ideas, you find out what's working for other people, and not that you need to use that as a way to compare, well, this is what I'm doing, but this is what this person's doing. Like, now I need to do all this stuff that's working for them. No, and I've been in that place too. I've been like, I'm not doing enough. You know, like this person's doing this and they're killing it. And now I got to spend all this time plugging into, you know, creating all this content and building all of these systems, when really what I had was like, it was functioning, it was working, but I was comparing. So there's that element of being able to discern, you know, what is collaboration, what is healthy collaboration, and what is breeding comparison. So I want to say that as well. So partnership, success partner. I mean, that's huge. And there is a success partner for everyone. It's not a one size fits all thing. You know, like there are people out there who, you know, have crazy busy schedules, but still want to pursue this business opportunity part-time. And they might, you know, even check in with you, or you guys can collaborate bi-weekly, like whatever that looks like. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, a weekly thing or a daily thing. But a success partner is essential. So support that comes from not just your upline sponsor, but the entire team. There's a reason why we're called a team. It's because we all work together. We offer insight and value for one another where we can. And, you know, where one person's struggling, you know, like if I can't get to a person's post in the team page first, I have faith, I have confidence that, you know, other people on my team are going to respond thoughtfully, you know, from experience. Oh, this is what you might consider, or have you tried considering this? Mentorship, that's what this coach mentorship, you know, the purpose of it is for, you know, and the accountability ties into that. So, you know, I know that I gave you guys your coach mentorship folders, and really that was, you know, I talk about like a skeleton invite. That was like a skeleton setup for the coach mentorship. My goal as your upline coach isn't to give you a cookie cutter folder with all the same stuff in it and expect you to receive it well necessarily. But it's those concepts, the idea of creating weekly goals that, you know, I can see, that I can check in with you on. It's the idea of using a business activity tracker that works for you. If the tentative business activity tracker that I plugged into there as, you know, here's a suggestion, if that doesn't work for you, we got to talk about one that will, that kind of a thing. So mentorship, you know, is designed to meet each person where they're at, to help each person where they're at. And so this is in no way meant to be stressful for anyone. Hold on. So, taking, my mane is in my mouth, taking advantage of this mentorship and this accountability, I think will lend itself, I know will lend itself to helping you see growth, but you got to step into that growth. You got to step onto the x-axis and, plug into what you got to do to see the growth. Another thing that it might look or sound like to be unwilling to grow, I don't need to set goals. I don't need to set new goals. Okay, good luck. Like, that's rough. If you don't have a vision, if you don't know where you're going, you're just going to flounder. You're going to be cozy. You're going to be in a bubble. I don't need to be a part of the team culture. I like my cozy bubble. That just breeds isolation. You're on an island by yourself, and it's lonely out there, like that's not where the team is. And it creates stagnation, no moving forward, in other words. And I've been there. Like I said, I've been there. So that I know the next one down, if we're going this way, well, it might look backwards too, I don't know, would have been bored and disengaged, but I wanted to talk about stressed first. This was where Mama Lion was like all of 2016. Check it out. So as a business owner, focus so much on everything that you need to do, but you lack vision as to why you need and want to do it. So you engage in this downward spiral of self-sabotage. So the growth element is high, like it's there, it's like glaring at you in the face, and it's like, you need to do this, you need to do me. And then like your connection and your why, your purpose, your vision, like what connects you to this business, your roots, you need roots. It's like they're in the toilet, like you got nothing, you got nada. So this is where you start comparing yourself to what others are doing and achieving around you. Maybe you become bitter because you're not experiencing that same success. You're like, why can't I onboard like 100 coaches this year? Why can't I somehow get my coaches to like 2-star diamond, every single one of them? Like you start like comparing yourself and putting yourself down, and you rip away any seed of belief that previously existed in your gut when you first got started. Because when you first get started as a coach, you're excited. Like you're excited AF. And you're like, let's do this. I'm ready to go. And then, you start to see, okay, like I have to do work. Like I have to put work in. Am I up for that challenge? And that's where you start to see the people who are willing to work for their success separate from those who aren't. The other thing, you may just be scraping by each month with minimal growth or residual income because you're not adding value for your customers and you're only going through the motions. Let me holla at you for a hot minute, okay? Number one, so like I said, this was me like all of 2016 until my dad got sick, because I was like, wake up call, like huge light bulb moment, like only have this one life. I'm treating my body like trash too. Like maybe I should change things. So I wasn't really adding value for my customers. Here's why. I was plugging all my shit into Postcron. I was using a challenge group template, posting the same shit every month, month after month after month. And you know what? That gets really old for people who have been with me for a year. You think that same content is gonna, evoke excitement or like empowerment or connection for any of my challengers? 100% no. They're going to be bored and disengaged, and that's what they were. And I saw my challenge group engagement go like literally up in flames. I'm like, caw, like anybody here? Like, can I lure you in with free prizes? Can I just throw Shakeology samples at you? Like, can I do something to like make you guys want to participate? And you know what? Like that was 100% on me because the value wasn't there. I wasn't engaging them, and I wasn't offering them the opportunity to be empowered in their journey, which is very different from how I run my groups now. And I pretty much post everything live unless I know that I'm gonna have a really crazy day like I did on Sunday. And I created new content. I didn't just rip it from a challenge group template, created new content and plugged it in. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. So as a mentor, you're preoccupying yourself with what your coaches are not doing to grow their businesses. You're like, why can't I get them to do this? Well, because you're not in control of them. Like, you're just not. And that is something that I'm also working through right now. Like in my own life, I've always struggled with needing that element of control in my own life. Yeah, hello, Inner J is so freaking fierce. Yeah. And I never realized it. Okay, gotta read that book. Gotta read that book. I'm telling you, that book, Keep Your Love On, you're gonna be like, light bulb moment that just like, it's gonna be wild. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh, just like wanted to control everything and everyone around me, because why not? I don't know. That's just a part that was just always a very strong part of my personality. And I'm really learning how to surrender that. I won't get into that because that could be like a whole other team call. But so as a mentor, when you're stressed, you're like, why can't I get them to do what they need to do? And it's because they're not empowered in their business. They're not empowered in their choices. And you have to let that go and move on to pouring your time into the people who are going to pour their time into their business. Pour your time into your challenge groups, creating those coaches within your challenge groups. Pour your time into inviting people into the opportunity so that you're recruiting people who want to be a part of this and whose values and whose will to succeed, I guess is what I'm looking for, aligns with yours. Another thing that it might look like for a mentor to be stressed, not having organized systems in place that allow for that mentorship connection, or not utilizing them effectively. So structure around touching base, one-on-one calls, lack of structure around business hours too, like establishing respect for your personal life so that, you know, you're not blowing up at 1 a.m. And so those are just some ideas for stress. And then bored and or disengaged. So boop, you've thrown in the towel. You're like, doses. And this is the space where the cozy and stressed friends end up. Plain and simple. Because if you're not empowered, I mean, you're going to fall in one of those two places. And then if you're cozy for too long and you're not seeing the growth, why the hell would you stick with it? If you're stressed and your why is lacking and you're not circling back to that to figure out the root of that problem, if you're not looking to figure out, okay, maybe I need to plant new roots. Maybe I need to figure out a new connection or a new why, or do some digging around that. The stress is going to become too much that bloop, you're going to go over to bored and disengaged, period, 100% of the time. And people don't typically stay in cozy or bored and disengaged, in cozy or stressed for all that long necessarily. So what does that look like? Well, if you're bored and disengaged, you're like, cue radio silence, right? Not showing up in team page, not showing up on social media, not showing up in team calls, not even posting in challenge groups, not responding to messages from your upline. And bored and disengaged, you know, it can go hand in hand or it can be totally separate. So disengaged, what that might look like. And I'll tell you, I have been here. So when I wasn't in stressed in 2016, this is where I was chilling. Like this was where I was stewing. So shiny object syndrome, plugging into content creation, making new projects for yourself, Avoiding business building activities and solely focusing on the fun elements. My word, you guys, is create, because I love creating things. I love getting fancy and creative with things. That's just how I've always been my whole life. So when I disengage from what I need to do, I'm going to plug into what I want to do, just so things look pretty. Task avoidance. So making excuses like, I can't, and I don't know how to do it yet. I'm not confident enough in it yet. So I'm going to plug into X for personal development and cross my fingers, toes, and eyeballs that once I'm done plugging into that for personal development, I'll be better at it and I'll go for it. And then there's no action that happens. It's like the information's coming in, but I mean, information without action is like it's nothing, right? And so obviously, as you can see, I can't remember because like I said, I'm in a brain fog. I may have said that is when obviously the growth is low or non-existent, and your connection and your why or why is low or completely non-existent. And then they're like, see you never, bye. And, you know, so that in a nutshell is really what I would love for all of us to really focus on. My call to action for everybody on this call is to walk away from tonight's team call, and obviously, you know, I'll post the recording and I'll share the slides for this, to really think about, you know, where you have been maybe in the last month, maybe in the last 6 months, maybe in the last year, because really we can move in and out of these spaces so fluidly and you're not even necessarily aware of it. I mean, and I think moving forward, because obviously you didn't have this this tool to be more self-aware, to recognize like, okay, here's where I am. I think moving forward, if you focus on this, you know, in the tough days in your business, you'll be able to say, okay, like this is where I am right now. And you'll be able to say, okay, well, I'm in cozy, so my growth is low. Obviously, I realize I'm not doing those actionable steps. So what am I going to do to pull my ass out of cozy? If I'm struggling with it, I'm going to reach out to my upline and say, okay, this is where I'm at. I need your help figuring this out so that like I can like plug into my growth steps without falling into stressed. Or if, you know, you're totally overwhelmed and stressed because the growth is high, but the connection is low, and I don't know where to start to figure out where my roots have gone, where my connection is, what my why is, I'm going to express that to my upline, and we're going to get to the root of this together. Because again, there's no I in team. It's hard to figure your shit out by yourself sometimes. And then other times, you know, it is super important to figure, you know, your shit out by yourself. But again, it's wanting, it's choosing. I want to be in empowerment. Can I do that by myself? And it takes an empowered person to realize, you know what? Either yes, I can, and I can say that with 100% certainty and confidence, or no, I can't. And I need to get off this island and come back to the pride, to Pride Rock, as Kayla would say. So, with that said, we have 3.5-ish minutes left. Is this like clicking? Like, is this clear? Does this feel like a tool that you're like, yeah, I'm gonna add that to my toolbox. Like, this will help. Yes. Hold on, I'm just gonna stop share. I think Kayla's frozen. Oh, sorry, Brenna, I just muted you.
Or she's just not breathing.
Sorry, babe. What were you gonna say?
Wait, Brenna or me?
You can go ahead, either one.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I was trying to type really quickly because I wasn't sure if you wanted us to respond to you via voice or chat. No, I was saying that I think I'm kind of ping-ponging between cozy and stressed, cozy and stressed, cozy, like, and I don't know how that's possible, but that's how I feel.
No, it's 100% possible.
Yeah.
It is. And, you know, like I said, like, we can talk about this, like we can schedule a one-on-one call and talk about this and like get to the root of those things, because I mean, this tool really is so powerful. Like this self-awareness tool really is so powerful when you utilize it and you're like, okay, well, I want to be in empowerment, you know, like, I mean, you have to want to be in empowerment, you know? And so if that's the case, then we do some digging and we get to the root of it so that we can get you into that space so that it's manageable and not stressful, you know? But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that, you know, even just hearing that, like you're able to process it that quickly. Like this is where I'm ping ponging, you know? So that's good. And you know, it's funny, like Cody and I use this for other things too. And I'm just like, I am in the stressed quadrant right now, you know, like, or like, I'm in the cozy quadrant with this right now. I mean, it's really applicable to like every single freaking area of your life, which is what's so awesome. You have less than a minute, but I will post the slides. And obviously, as always, if you guys have questions, you know, reach out to me or comment in the team page. And I just hope you guys will use this tool as a means to help you guys feel empowered in your businesses. Sound good? All right, ladies. Hope you have a great night. I love you.
Love you too, Meg. Bye, Bren.
Bye.